And we're back. Okay, so looks like I'm kind of just gonna jump in on everything. And we're just gonna kind of get it started so that the video is not crazy long like it usually is. Anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Please let me know. Send me a note in the comment box below so that I kind of know that this has been helpful, or if there's other things that we need to be chatting about. Like I said, I am thinking about doing that second video on Thursdays again. I think that was helpful, but because nobody's talking to me and letting me know, then I don't know. But I think I'm gonna start to do that again. Okay, so actually let's work kind of backwards today. I wasn't gonna do GBP JPY, but then I just, after kind of looking at it and going through it, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this one as well. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there has been a little bit of a trend in terms of like, we went through a period of consolidation, and now we're looking to have some movement happen, which is a good thing. This looks awfully crazy, but I just wanted to get out so that you could get a better idea. This is that circle that I made. It looks crazy right there. But as you can see, if you're looking kind of back on like previous price action from like here to here, it's just pure price action movement in a bearish direction. So what I'm waiting for based on that, and then this area that I've created, I kind of previously created it. I'm going to just actually move it up a little bit more because this is kind of where price is at. So what I'm waiting for essentially here, and that's, why I made that circle there, to kind of give you an idea as to what I'm watching for. I'm waiting to see a break, or not, well, kind of like a break, and then not a retest, but I'm looking for price to hold. So I want to see it close above this area is what I'm looking at. And then the reason why I'm looking at that is because this seems to be a pretty influential area. So price hadn't been able to get past here before, and it seems like it's getting a lot closer to this area. So what I'm looking for, or waiting to see before I get in on this, is a hold. I want it to basically break through and close above this area. Then I will be able to go ahead and decide if I'm going to get in or not. Some riskier traders just go ahead and get in, which, I mean, it just kind of depends on how you feel, or excuse me, not necessarily how you feel. You definitely don't want to go off your feelings, but if you see it come through, for me personally, I feel like I can kind of get my best bang for my buck on stuff like this when I trade the break. So I would trade the break. Let me get my brush tool, because this is the closest place to where I can basically put my stop loss, right? So stop loss, I'd actually probably put it like around this area, maybe a little bit further down, just based upon what had happened here previously. But that's usually the best way for me to get the smallest amount of risk added onto my trade. So a lot of times it'll break, and it'll more than likely come back at some point to retest this area. So you do want to give it some room. So like I said, this is probably where I would set it at, but maybe you would even want to hold it right here just to be safe, because that's what price has previously been at. Forgive me, I've been traveling and I'm super raspy. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. And for this one, I think what I'm going to do is give you, yes, trading is a probability game, but I've been lately showing you, oh yes, well, it could go this way or it could go this way, and that's possible on a couple of these. But for GBP, I honestly see that it could potentially break through here. Once it gets through here, we'll see that retest and then it heading back up. If it fights it and then it can't, sure, okay, fine. We'll see it continue to test. Then it may get to this area and consolidate, see if it goes down a little bit further, get to this area, consolidate. And this is just based on previous price action that we'll be looking at. But from what I can see, when I was saying that there looks to be a trend, it looks like The market itself has been in a space of consolidation, and this looks for all pairs, like on the board, like across the board rather. It looks like they've all been kind of doing the same thing. So a lot of consolidation has been happening over the last couple of weeks or what have you, on a lot of different pairs. And what we could potentially see now is some actual movement, which is good. So let's work backwards. Like I said, we're going to go to US 30. US 30, I marked it up a little bit. I don't trade US 30 just yet, but it's, couldn't hurt to take a look at it and show you kind of my bias on it. So right now, we're actually in a really good spot. I believe that we could see it at least get to here before it decides that it wants to either consolidate or retest. So let me get my brush tool. Sorry if I'm talking too fast. I'm trying to do my best to keep the video as accurate and quick as possible so that it's not too crazy long. But we could potentially, what I'm seeing, or from what I can see based upon what's happened here in the past. So I really only go based upon here. Sometimes you can use other stuff because, as you can see, price was touching here and it looks like it's trying to kind of hold back a little bit right now based on where price was in the past. So I would say that it'll probably be a little slow, maybe today, maybe even tomorrow, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we could see it potentially getting up to this area, and then we'll see from here, is it going to come back down to maybe, there and retest, and then maybe come back up here again, or will it break through, come back down for that retest there, and then we'll see it maybe get to this area, because that based upon, based upon that, that's where price was literally at in the past. As you can see, it's like kind of touching a little bit as right here, a little bit, like price touched a little bit here. So you could even, in probably a better way for it to kind of show you this would be like the level that would be at. Same thing with here. This would be the level that would be at. Okay, and then right now we're kind of at this level. So these would also be my levels of take profit as well. So I would literally wait for it to break through here, first take profit, break through here, second take profit, so and so on and so forth. And then we'd be looking to see what is going to happen once we get to this even number, which is a bank level. So that's US 30. Let's go ahead. I do not know if I marked up GBP. I did and I didn't. So this is previous notes that I've kind of put on GBP. Just to help me keep myself organized. I did draw a trend line because it looked like it was headed up based upon when it tried to break through this level here, and it seems like it's trying to hold. So I am going to continue to keep an eye on GBP. Let's see, let me squeeze this up a little bit and get you a slightly better view. So once I'm able to get a complete candle. So sorry, this is all over the place today. Once I'm able to get a completed candle, maybe like above this region, then I'm going to be waiting to see what happens when it gets here, if it's going to do some type of a retest, and then, giving us a little something back once the retest comes back, and then maybe breaking through that. So waiting to see what's going to be happening there. USDJPY has been challenging because there has been no previous price action in this area. So for it has like dropped pretty dramatically. I think this was last week when it had gone down and dropped pretty dramatically. So with that being said, for me personally, I may be looking, it depends on what's going to happen. And this is kind of a big level here. Let me see. Like make it a little smaller. Depends on what's happening here. Now I'm seeing again a trend in a bullish favor for a lot of the pairs, but what we could potentially see for this one, and that's probably based upon the base in the quote, pairs being different or in a different place, we could potentially see this one continue down. So what I'm thinking is, let me get my brush tool. I'm thinking right now what it's doing is kind of coming up to retest this area, as it's pretty a pretty much touched area in the past. So I believe it could continue to maybe test this area. I should actually move this up. Let me do that real quick for you. Okay, so I believe, let me get my brush tool. Okay, so I believe it could continue to kind of test this area, come back down, or come down rather, and then we'll see. Well, I'll also be interested to see what happens at this area as well. My mouse is really jacking me up today. I'll be interested to see what happens in this area. So once price comes up and then comes back down, I want to see what's going to happen to kind of get a better bias as to what's going to happen. But we could potentially see it consolidate a bit here. And then once it's able to break through here, there'll probably be some sort of a retest, and then it'll head down to the next level. But I haven't been really trading USDJPY because I've been kind of trying to see what kind of history it's kind of creating since it hasn't been this high in its trading history. So that's kind of my bias on UJ. Let's scoot over to EU, and on EU, let's see. I don't think that I actually did the pre check-in on this one. I haven't. So right now, I wouldn't make a move on Euro USD because it looks as though we're seeing some consolidation. It's struggling to kind of get through this level. Like, there hasn't been a close above. I would have to see a close above here in order to make some sort of move for EU. I'm just not gonna, I would need personally, I would need to see a break above, or not just a break, because this looks like this is just a pierce. Don't go based upon the pierce. Go based upon the close. So we get a candle that, like, let's say we get a candle like that closes, looks this is gonna be great. Oh my gosh, this is my candle. Let's say we get a candle that closes above here. Oh yeah, then I'm looking at a long position. I'm getting out on a long position, and we'll see what happens when price gets here. Now, granted, this is only on a 4-hour time frame, so this may not be worth the buck. This may only be like a 1 to 1, or maybe even a 1 to 2 in terms of your risk to reward. But depending upon what kind of trader you are, if you're a scalper, this could definitely be worth your while. So like I said, I'm not going to do anything to EU until I can actually see a close above here, and then I'll be looking at long positions as opposed to short. Okay, so last one, let's jump over to AU. Kind of and not the same with AU. AU looks to be headed in an upward direction. It's already now had a close above. This one actually looks really good. However, let's go to the daily real quick. I've already marked up AU. AU actually looks like it could have a pretty decent run. So this is based upon the daily. This could be a pretty decent amount of pips. So being that this is having, if this candle sitting here has a close, and I want to say, yeah, I would need to see a close. This candle would have to stay and close above this level in order for me to feel like it's going to continue in the direction of a long position. Because what I honestly do feel like it could do, is we could see this close, we could see it move up a bit, maybe come back down for a retest. That may be considered. I'm not sure yet. And then we can see it looking to get up to this level. And then once it gets to this level, I'm looking to make sure that it gets through. We have somewhat of a retest, and then we're heading back up again. So I think AU looks like probably one of the ones that I'm going to keep my eye on. I do have a lot of them kind of marked over here, and that's just so that I could kind of keep you guys in the loop, or keep in mind which ones I wanted to go over with you today. But AU is where I'm probably going to be mostly playing between AU and EU. EU has been kind of eating up my money, I'm not even going to lie, but that's because I've been making the wrong decisions, my personal self. just doing things, not following my plan like I'm supposed to. So I am going to be focusing on that, following my plan this week. It looks like AU is going to be probably one of my main focuses, as well as EU, but that just depends on how the market moves. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that they are all helpful. If you do have questions, or if there's something else that you want me to go over, please put it in the comment box, and like, share, and subscribe if this has been helpful for you. Have a great rest of your trading week. Get after it.